Peace, 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 peace. I hope you're doing lovely. Um, yeah. Well, I want to thank you first and foremost for your patience. At last, you will be receiving your reading. And yes, I'm still wearing this till this day. It's so cool. Very appreciative of this beautiful, beautiful, energetic piece or tool. Yeah. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, you have your ascendant in Capricorn in the first house. Then your moon is in Pisces in the second house. And your sun also is in Pisces in the second house. Interesting. So you have a lot of first you first, second, and 12th house energy. A lot of first, second, and 12th house energy. Wow, this is gonna be very, very interesting. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to start off by talking about your ascendant, which is in Capricorn. So you have your ascendant in Capricorn, and it's also retrograded, and it's in the first house. So with your ascendant being in Capricorn in the first house, this would then go on to bring our attention to Saturn, because Saturn is your chart ruler. Now, what this means is like your guardian or your primary teacher in this lifetime is Saturn, meaning like you have more soul contracts with the planet Saturn than with any other planets. Now, also with your ascendant being in Capricorn in the first house, and the ascendant dictating, your personal life, um, it also, like the ascendant, it's your personal life. It deals with, um, in a sense, your personal view of life and how it is, in the sense of what you prioritize to be the most important and the most significant. You know, um, the 11th house, it also deals with, my bad, not 11th house. The ascendant also deals with like your body. It deals with, um, like the way you dress. The way you talk, the way like your body language and everything like that. Like it's just like you without even you having to try. Like it's the rawest essence of who you are. Now, your ascendant is in Capricorn, but so too is your Saturn. Your Saturn is also in Capricorn, and it's in the 12th house. Interesting. Now, the 12th house is the house of Pisces, but the 12th house is also the house of karma, or dharma as well. But usually, like when Saturn is involved, it's usually more of a karmic energy. So, okay, this is an indication that in this lifetime, you're here and you're paying off a lot of karmic energies. Um, you accumulated through like it's like, okay, because Saturn. I didn't mean to say Saturn. I meant to say Capricorn, because it's like Capricorn is an earthly sign, and then Virgo is also an earthly sign, and now you have your ascendant. My bad, not your ascendant. You have your South Node in Virgo. And the South Node, it is the house that deals with all of the energies that you accumulated and all of the energies that you've like worked on developing in your past life. So the South Node, it deals with like where you're coming from at a soul level, where your comfort zone is, what you're most comfortable with because you developed. And now with your ascendant being in Virgo, my bad, I keep saying that, but I mean to say your South Node. With your South Node being in Virgo, this is an indication that in the past life, it's like you weren't as fortunate. Like you didn't have money, you didn't have wealth. But these are the things you prioritized. You prioritized money. You prioritized um, like resources and material security, like wanting to have lots of money and resources, and in a sense wanting to become the best, but not from like a spiritual standpoint, but from a physical standpoint. Now these are all energies that's like that has already in a sense been developed, and these are energies that, like, in a sense, you're most comfortable with. Now, your north node is in Pisces. Oh, it's crazy how these energies are set up, because your north node is in Pisces, but on top of that, your sun, your moon, your Mercury, your Venus, my bad, your Mercury is not in Pisces. Your Mercury is in Aquarius, but your sun, your moon, and your Venus are also all in the Pisces energy. So in this lifetime, it's like a lot of your experiences are tailored towards like soul growth and soul evolution, you know? And because of that, it's like the best way to explain it, this sense of like uncomfortability, you know, or as you've explained it, like the sense of blockage between the spiritual and the physical, because the case of the matter is your soul, it's like gotten so used to, should I say your soul or your ego? Soul or ego? Yeah, it's more of like it's like the experiences that your soul went through tailored your ego towards more focusing on the material and the physical, and to an extent neglecting the spiritual. And so in this lifetime, because you have all this Pisces energy, ironically though, Pisces is in the second house. So with Pisces being in the second house in this lifetime, you value like your ascendant is in Capricorn, so automatically you're going to be very ambitious and materially driven and have a desire to get to the top once again and have all of the resources and money you desire. But it's like your sun and your moon, these energies, like being in the second house, indicate that like you're doing it for like the money and everything, but your values are more spiritual. They're more like wanting the money and everything like that, so you can have more connection, you know, wanting to be more connected. Like the second house, right, is the house of value. These are the things that you value. This is what you know, you hold closest to you. Now with Pisces being in the second house, you value more like connection and more like emotions like happiness and peace and joy. You value more assisting and helping others, you know, things like that. Hence why you're a nurse. But but it's like back to the Capricorn energy, you know, and also the Virgo energy. Like the Capricorn and the Virgo energy, like your South Node being in Virgo and then your Ascendant being in Capricorn. These two energies kind of block you off from truly walking into like your higher spiritual like desires, you know, like desires that have nothing to do with the material world, desires that have more to do with like spiritualism and connecting with others and connecting with your guides, you know, like your higher self, angels, spirits and things like that. It's like that energy to an extent is blocked because, well, with Saturn, holy shit, with Saturn being in Capricorn in the 12th house, that was what I was reacting to, you know. That's like a whole la moment, I guess you can say. Like with Saturn being in Capricorn in the 12th house, this, holy shit, I forgot your Jupiter was also in Taurus. Okay. Like with Saturn being in Capricorn in the 12th house, there's a lot of like restriction regarding like the areas of your life dealing with the spirit world, dealing with your unconscious mind, even like subconscious beliefs and things like that, you know. There's a lot of like hidden energy, um hidden, but also like, okay, so the 12th house, it deals with the hidden energy. Capricorn deals more with strife and working and things like that. So it's like, okay, this energy is also very interesting, because also with you having your Capricorn in the 12th house, this is an indication that it's like one thing that you're pretty good at is like being able to, create like a long-term plan and sticking to it and making sure that, you go like you get the shit done, like knowing and understanding how to think long term, and things like that. But it's like these aspects, because it's in the 12th house, are aspects that you innately are good at, but you innately, because it's in the 12th house and because it's in Saturn, you may feel like you're not good at it completely. You may feel like you're way over your head in this, but it's like in actuality, naturally you are a being, a person who is capable of like attaining great amounts of successes, you feel me? But it's like there are all these mental limitations and blocks that are in a sense prohibiting you from fully tapping into your ability to like technically succeed in this physical world, thus in a sense making it more and more and more of great significance, like making the physical world more and more and more of great significance, and kind of like draining out the spiritual world, so even like with Pisces being in the second house, this energy at its highest exaltation is an energy of like, first and foremost, like charity, being charitable and wanting to be able to help others and things like that, but on top of that, it's also valuing things like caring, things like spirituality, things like emotions, putting that putting that as like what you want the most. But because it's like, so real quick, let's also look at your Jupiter. So you have your Jupiter in Taurus in the 4th house. Okay. So with your Jupiter being in Taurus in the 4th house, because Jupiter rules Pisces, Jupiter is influencing Pisces through a Taurian manner or Taurian energy. You know, also, just to talk about your Jupiter alone real quick, you have your Jupiter in Taurus in the 4th house. And so like with your Jupiter being in Taurus in the 4th house, this energy right here, it well, because it's the 4th house, it's family, and it's an indication that like in your family life, you are like blessed in like abundance, even when, let's say, you might not have had much, like there is still something like beautiful about like your family life, um because Jupiter is there. Like family has always been like you like you've either always been close with them or you've always been able to count on them. But most likely though, they've always been some sort of like foundation, some sort of like support, you know. Now, with Jupiter being in Taurus in the 4th house, the Piscean energy becomes influenced through a very Taurian um influence, where now it's like you are indeed like meant to learn like the spiritual fruits through material means. Like it's like in the way that this can play out is like either going through life and accumulating material and wealth to only realize that it wasn't what was truly important. Like, it didn't matter. Like, what really mattered was the connection, the love, the unification. You feel me? Because Pisces is a sign of unity. It's a sign of, like, first and foremost, spirituality and, like, the higher mind and thinking and love and things like that. You feel me? And so Pisces is like an energy that deals more with, like, learning how to just be in a higher vibrational emotion. Now, because Pisces is in the second house, Pisces is in a house of materialism. And so the material world now can have the ability to influence your emotions and how you feel. And in a sense, pull you down, bring you down. But it's like learning how to identify more with your soul and your spiritual essence rather than your body, your resources, your money, your shelter, and things like that will only result to, like, more happiness, because it's like Pisces is a sign. It's like most Pisces desire to be happy, they want to be happy, but because in this world that we live in, most Pisces are depressed, they are sad. And this is because the Pisces energy is a very, very, like, empathic energy. It's very good at sucking in and absorbing energy as well, and absorbing information. The Pisces energy is the unconscious mind. So a lot of what you absorb, you become unconscious of, but you are living it out with the subconscious mind, and it becomes your conscious experience, I hope that makes sense. And so, like, beginning to absorb and channel in the right information is also of great significance, because it's like, well, let's talk about your Mercury real quick. Your Mercury is in Aquarius in the first house. With your Mercury being in Aquarius in the first house, you can have a lot of, like, selfish thoughts, thoughts about yourself, thoughts about me, 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 me. you know, your chart, it's very interesting because it's kind of like contradicting energies, like Aquarius. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, wait, never mind. No, I thought I saw something that I didn't see. That I didn't actually see. So yeah, but your chart, it's like very interesting because it's like two energies in one. And so you may also even feel like you have, like, this sense of personality, split personality thing going on, I mean, Pisces is a sign. It's really good at mirroring, mirroring others. So, and on top of that, you have Venus and Pisces as well. So it is very significant and important that, like, you become aware that the person you involve yourself with is going to dramatically influence you, especially unconsciously. And, well, your soul is more like your subconscious, and your spirit is more like the unconscious. And then your body, because they say mind, body, and soul. What the fuck? Um, like, I would say it's more like, because the mind is like the body in a sense. Because the body is like a tool of the mind, so the mind and the body are, in a sense, interchangeable. But anyways, I say that to say that, like, I know I was talking about your subconscious and your unconscious and your conscious mind, but back to what I was saying, about your Venus and being in Pisces in the second house. So with your Venus being in Pisces in the second house, let's talk about Venus being in the second house in general. Your sun being in the second house in general, and your moon being in the second house in general. The second house is like the house of Taurus. It rules Taurus. This is the space where the Taurus energy formulated. And now with you having your Taurus here, like, you are highly influenced by the Taurus energy because you're a Pisces with your Jupiter in Taurus. And the Taurus energy is an earthly energy. Taurus rules the second house, the house of possession, the house of value, the house of resources, the house of money. This is like, okay, the first house, right? As we talked about a little bit, is the house of self, the me, the I, the center of attention. It's like you waking up, and you becoming aware of yourself and being like, holy shit, I am me. I am this. I am Adita, I am. And then the second house is like, I have, I am me. And I have, like, let's say, I have this backpack. I have, this laptop. I have this phone. That's like the second house. It's like second house energy, if that makes sense. Now, so with you having your sun, your moon, and then your sun, your moon, your Venus, and then your Jupiter in Taurus, and then your ascendant in Capricorn, you are highly, like, infatuated with having things. You want to have, like, you just want to have and have and have and have. Like, it's very important for you to have things, but it's like, the thing about that is, as we talked about earlier, your south node is in Virgo. Virgo, it is a sign of, like, resourcefulness as well. Most Virgos have their shit together. They have a job. They have, like, an apartment or something. They pay bills. They're just very, very, like, into, like, the Matrix world type deal, technically. And it's like, with this energy here, you're also very, like, into the Matrix world, but it's like your soul strives to get out of that. So that's like the energy you're in, but it's like your soul doesn't want to be there anymore because there's, like, no growth in that. You feel me? Like, and on top of that, like, with your Jupiter being in Taurus in the fourth house, this is an indication that you are blessed materially, because Jupiter is blessings. It deals with, like, where it is that you are most prospered and most abundant in. And with it being in Taurus in the fourth house, this is like support. Like, know it or not, like, you do have, like, a support system placed there to be able to help you. But like Pisces and Capricorn, these are very isolated energies. So first and foremost, learning how to, like, get out of your space of isolation and learning how to connect more with people, but not just any people, with the right people, because it's important also to be mindful that you are like a sponge. You absorb energy, and, like, you absorb that energy and you don't even know you absorbed it, and then you start acting on it, but you don't even know that you're acting on an energy that came from outside of you. You feel me? So an example is, like, let's say you hang around a person who's, like, really, really negative, really, really just shitty in general. 3 days later, you yourself are gonna start acting like that person, but you're not even gonna know that you're acting out of your element, out of your comfort zone. Pisces is a sign dealing with the astral world, with the spirit world. Aquarius is a sign that that deals a lot with, like, the mental space, like mental realm. Think about, like, your thinking space as, like, a lounge in a way. Like everyone has their own unique space to them, their own unique, thoughts. But then it's like some people are sucked into a hive mind, meaning they don't have their own space, like their own, oh shit, bad, like their own house, you can say, in the astral realm, and they're like subjected to being unsheltered and susceptible to all forms of energies, like what I'm trying to say here. I say all that to say this: with you being a Pisces and also having that Aquarius energy, being aware that not all your thoughts are yours is very important, and starting to learn how to protect your energy, specifically by paying attention to your thoughts and siphoning the thoughts that are yours and the thoughts that aren't yours, choosing thoughts that you want to be yours, and of letting go of thoughts that you no longer resonate with and associate with. Because check it, because Pisces, my bad, I didn't even mean to say Pisces, because Saturn is in Capricorn in the 12th house, and then Saturn, rules over your chart. Like the 12th house energy, it's Capricorn in the 12th house. So it's an indication that there are a lot of unconscious accumulations of somewhat demonic thoughts that you kind of roll with and run with and resonate with, that you feel like, yeah, it's cool, like this is just me, like this is just who I am. Because the ascendant being in Capricorn, like directly you're gonna feel a very strong affinity with like that Saturnian energy, a strong affinity with like attaining success, and that's material success by all means necessary, including, in a sense, selling your soul. You feel me? And when I say selling your soul, I mean like doing things you don't want to do because you know that those things are going to bring you money. But inevitably what that's going to do, it's only going to build like more and more and more karma for yourself. Because by doing that, you're actually tapping into your south node. And your south node is like your karma. And your north node is like where it is that you can develop dharma, where it is that you can develop dharma. And like Pisces deals with serving others, learning how to serve others, but like genuinely wanting to, like being a nurse, but like hating the fact that you're a nurse. Like it's like you're doing it more for like the money, and like the energy is completely different from like you being a nurse because you have a great passion to like help people. You feel me? Like one is Virgo, the money, and then the other is like Pisces, just genuinely wanting to help people. So for example, like your idea regarding CBD products, right? It's like okay, Virgo deals with herbs, it deals with like medicine, like plant medicine, so like you working with plant medicines and things like that, it's like you also being a nurse and like helping people with medicine and things like that is something you've always innately been like you have a very like nursing energy in general, like a wanting to help people energy in general. So like you're always gonna help people, but now it's more like refining it and becoming aware of the reasons why you're helping people. Is it for like material reasons, or is it for like spiritual reasons? If it's for material reasons, then it's more Virgonian and it becomes more karmic. But if it's for like spiritual reasons, then it's more like dharma and it becomes more soul liberating and soul help your soul grow, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, now let's look at your sun. Your sun is in Pisces in the second house. With your sun being in this placement, you are a very, very considerate person. You know, you're very you like to help others. You know, and you like to in a sense, be there for people. You know, like if someone needs someone, then you don't mind being there for them. But this energy, it's like, because you also have it in the second house, so I have to pause before I really talk about this. Like, and then on top of that, like, you have your ascendant in Capricorn, so no doubt, you're very like service orientated and charitable sort of person. But like with your Pisces being in the second house, it's like the way that you help others is through your material stuff, like what you have, materialism. Like where you feel you are the most able to serve, or you feel like you're the most able to service others, that I should say, is in that material realm, you feel me? um of like possessions and values. So feeling like, here, I'll help you with like some money, or like I'll help you with like um some shelter, or like some food, or like whatever it is, that's more of like that energy. hmm Hold on, I gotta think about this first before I start talking. Yeah, technically it's like helping people with like your possessions and things like that, but it's like a lot of your possessions are more like, they're physical, yes, but it's not about the physical.